Perseverance, try to weigh out all the good rather than the bad. Sometimes we have to stop and look at a certain situation to see the good in it, to see what, I just like, you know, if something tells me, hey, go talk to Josh. Well, I don't know what's wrong with Josh. I don't know what the good can come out of it. Nobody knows that. But I'll talk to Josh, and in the morning he called me and said, hey man, I'm glad you talked to me last night, because I already had it laid out when I got home, man. I was going to kill myself. That's the good. Come on, any bad situation that we can always look at any situation that we run up against. Do away with the bad and look at the good. We always, just say if my mama called and said she fell down when I go to the emergency room. Well, what's people normally do? They're going to call somebody and say, I got to go to the emergency room. My mom probably broke her back. Well, we don't know if she broke her back or not. Somebody has a car wreck. They're going to say, hey, so-and-so had a car wreck, man. I think he's in critical condition. Well, the first thing we're going to say is, oh, Brian, man, buddy mine Brian's in the hospital, man. He probably going to make it. We always thinking bad as soon as something happens. Think the good about it. Say, hey, man, yeah, he's got a car wreck, but he's going to make it through it. He's going to be okay. Perseverance, it says here, self-control to perseverance, godliness. To godliness means, here Peter used the word to speak of the need for Christians to be continually aware of God's presence. Always, no matter what we're running up against, always be aware that God can be right here with us. In any situation that we're running up against, if it's going to a party and everybody's hanging out over our drinking, you know, think about, hey, which He is with you at all times if you're saved. Remember that. Remember His presence is with you at all times. And I got in my notes right here, knowing that all of our life is in the hands of God. We should influence every aspect of our life. We should live for God, not for ourselves. You know, old fleshly things and ourselves going to tell us, ain't nobody going to see me what I'm doing. Ain't nobody here that I know. But I used to think that. Like when I used to drink, carry on, I'd go 20 miles out of the way to go to a store that I know that people didn't think I drank. I knew they wouldn't be there. I go 20 miles out of the way. But why does that matter? It don't matter what those people thought. God knew anyway. Why am I trying to hide it from them? They ain't my father. They ain't going to be judging me. Is this everybody all right? Anybody learning anything? Kind of pulling it in quick. Godliness to brotherly kindness. Brotherly kindness. If someone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. This is Jesus' words right here. He says, if I say, I love God, I love Jesus, then I leave here tonight, boy, that neighbor of mine, I hate that neighbor. He's always burning trash, the smoke blowing in my window at night. He's always shooting his gun, killing my dogs. I hate him. I hate him. Well, it says right here, God says, if someone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. He tells you he's a liar. Love involves serving one another, sharing with one another, and praying for one another. We at times have to love people that we don't want to love. We have to go hug people that we don't want to hug. They stink. We have to do all kinds of things as a Christian. That's where you grow at. Things that you don't want to do. Someone that gets on your nerves at work or at school that you can't stand. They can drive you bananas. But you got to still love that person and hey, and just treat them just like you treat them. And it's hard. It's hard, but it'll pay off in the end. When love is hard, love that person anyway. When you don't feel like praying for that person, pray for them anyway. When someone keeps falling over and over, if you've got a friend that keeps on doing the same things over and over, I mean, they use the Lord's name in vain, they cuss and like I say, you say, hey man, don't do it around me. And they do it over and over and over and over. Don't just walk away from that person. Don't ever give up on them. Every time they fall down, brush them off and get them right back up. And there's times I believe you're going to have to kind of walk away and say, hey, I done helped you for 3 years. and you keep going back down the side. I've helped people like that. But and some people ask me, well, when do you know when is enough? Well, you're going to run into things in life. I hope not, but you will. Friends that may abuse alcohol, maybe abuse drugs, and you're in their life, and you tell them, hey, you're going down the wrong road, and they do it over and over and over and over and over, and you're going to feel like quitting, and you're probably going to quit. That's one time I quit. I had a guy that I helped. He was a recovering drug addict. I hired him. He worked with me. He didn't have a car. I'd drive 20 miles a day out of my way to pick him up, take him back and forth, take him to the grocery store. He'd call me to come to his house and pray for him. I did all kinds of things for this guy. And he turned backfired against me, man. And this went back to his old ways. And I just threw my hands up and said, I'm done. I'm done with him. But you know what? The Lord told me I wasn't done with him. I had to go back and talk to that guy again and hire him back to work. You know, he did that to me again, but he was gone after that. Brotherly kindness, it says here, then it says brotherly kindness, it produces love. Love refers to God's kind of love, which originates not in the one loved, but in the one who loves. God's love because He is love. We are to love because we are from God. Such love reaches beyond the Christian community to anyone, anywhere, seeking that person's highest good, even at cost to ourselves. That's the same thing as brotherly kindness. I mean, love. I mean, God's love is no end. And we should have no end to love, no matter what. At any cost, whatever it takes, we should always love people. That's what draws people in, man. When you love somebody and you show them love, they're going to come. And right here, you know, it says, for these things are yours and abound. You will neither barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. That means it is the barren or unfruitful is the presence of the qualities listed in verse 5 through 7 marks a healthy Christian and assures productivity in our lives. And that's what it says. If we don't do these things, we lack. The lack of fruitfulness in a believer's life may be caused by two factors: blindness and forgetfulness. And the blindness is, you know, explaining this is we know what to do, but we don't do it. Like right here, I mean, we know, hey, if we read this right here, this is how we need to live. But we try to be blinded by it and not even look at it. And forgetfulness is just that we don't, and I can read this Bible right here day in and day out for 2 weeks. I mean, I can learn this thing for 2 years, in and out, and put it down for 2 years and forget it. There's many times I go over the same chapter over and over and over and over, and I learn different things every time. It just, you know, I have just woke up in the morning and read something, and it stuck with me all day, and it was, and by coincidence, what I read that morning, I run into that problem, and I was, hey, it's like one day this guy made me so mad at work, and I wanted to just whoop him. I wanted to whoop him. But I didn't. Then I didn't because this guy really got in my face at work, and my nature is a fighter. I was always, you know, box, and I was just a fighter, and I had to walk away from him, and I felt like a coward. I think I told y'all this when I got home at night. I just flipped the Bible up, and it said in the Bible, don't trade evil for evil. If a man shows me evil, don't push it right back in his face. That's you know, that's pretty much what that means. You know, that's, you know, if we use all these tactics right here and if we're saying, hey, I feel like I ain't never got a close walk with Jesus. I feel like I'm just the same as I was when I got saved when I was 10 years old. If we remember these things right here, start off by our faith. If we remember how we started our faith, then our virtue, then our knowledge, then our self-control, then our perseverance, then our godliness, and show our brotherly kindness, then show